Do we have a funky intro this week?
I thought of one, but then couldn't do it because I couldn't find the sounds.
So we're gonna let everybody down again.
Yeah.
All two people that listen.
Yeah, we're gonna let down all of our listeners, both of them.
Maybe it should be something like, "Hey, and welcome to Nothing to Play podcast, the late night podcast, where we talk about games."
I don't know what that was, but that's going to be the intro. See, I was writing something, but no, that's it. We'll just cut it to that bit. And I think that's your first intro as well, and it was very disturbing. So it's exactly what an intro should be.
You're definitely turned on right now, aren't you?
A little bit, and it's hot anyway, so I've already got my shirt undone. So
yeah, I'm starting to strip off. That's for sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, it was horrible in the car. I kept having to alternate between having the air conditioning on and then winding all the windows down.
Yeah, I had my air conditioner on, so it was alright. It eventually, after about 15 minutes, it actually got cool.
My air conditioning is pretty fierce, so it gets cold fairly quick. But then, like, people say, "Oh, air conditioning uses a lot of petrol." I'm like, does it? So
I've never really noticed it on mine, to be honest.
I can't say I really have, but it's always I'll always sort of turn it on, wait for it to get really cold, and then turn it off because it stays cold for a little bit.
Yeah.
Christ,
I just keep mine all the time. The whole hour I drive home.
This is the most boring intro to a games podcast, a games and movie podcast. It's just two people talking about whether or not to run their air conditioning in their car.
It's important shit, man.
Real first world problems.
Are we going to be kind to the environment or not? Do I want to be cool? Yes, I want to be cool. Fuck the environment for now.
Do I care if acid rain melts paint off buildings? Would I rather be cold?
Yeah, that's it.
I think there's
that's what it comes down to.
I think I know the answer to that one. I suppose we should start.
We should, yeah. Okay, let's jump right into it.
So Amazon are limiting pre-orders of the SNES Mini to one per person.
This is great news, I think.
It's really good news. It's not just Amazon either. I think Game have done it, although I think Game might be honouring 2. So people have ordered like 5 or 6 and they've had emails saying, no, you're only getting 2, we're refunding the rest. And even eBay have got into it as well. So if you are trying to sell a pre-order, they're taking down a load, but it's kind of you sort of think, oh wow, eBay are being a bit proactive this time, but it's always been their policy. You can't sell a pre-order more than 30 days in advance.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was something like you can't sell something that you don't actually have, kind of thing.
I thought it was that you can't sell goods you don't physically own.
Yeah.
But I guess now that they have like Tesco's and Amazon and people that drop ship things, then I guess that kind of makes sense. But I don't see why they'd honour any pre-orders from non-business.
And to be quite frank, I wouldn't be putting money down on an eBay pre-order anyway, because there's people that are doing it just assuming they're going to get one.
Yeah, I mean, there's...
It's like, hell no.
I think you're pretty safe with eBay because you'd pay for one. It wouldn't be your it wouldn't be your main way of getting one, but if you were sort of half interested and there was one at a reasonable price, they're not. They were like £300.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But yeah, if you didn't mind not getting it on day of release, then you would get your money back if anything went wrong.
I wonder how many units they're going to make of this one, because obviously they saw the success of the NES Mini, and they already said they were going to make more this time round. Surely they're going to make just a ton, because it's just a cash cow.
Yeah, I mean the hardware is like really cheap, really cheap. It's the games are, well, they're all pretty much first party or already licensed, so I don't see what, I don't think they'll be paying much more for more. I would be shocked if they didn't make a lot more, but again, I think Nintendo wants it to be one of those like hard to get things. They make a lot of shit like that. They'll release something and just make it impossibly hard to get.
I don't mind that to a point. It's just like, making things. If you're going to make something limited edition, then you make it limited edition. Don't just say that it's limited edition.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point of being limited. But this just seems, if I was in control of this product, I'd be like, let's just make a shit ton, and we're going to sell it all. And even if it's just scalpers buying it, we get the money.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck what happens after that?
I think that like the last sort of, I think the NES Mini and everyone trying to scalp them kind of hurt Nintendo's reputation a bit, because you kind of just, I mean, it's not Nintendo selling you a 50 quid console for 250 quid, but I think people kind of blamed Nintendo for not making enough of them.
But to be fair to Nintendo, like, you're bringing out this thing, you don't know how popular this is going to be. There's no way you could expect this amount of interest. Like, this is not just from, the retro collector's side or anything like that. It was people that were going, oh, that was from my childhood, I'd love to play that again. Yeah. Market as well. It's like, there's no way Nintendo could know that was going to happen.
No, but again, it's kind of like they should, to have prevented that, they should have made more, and they could have made more, but
Nintendo are very much a company where they don't build anything where they don't make money on it when they sell, and although technically the Wii U, they lost £5, but if they had a game sale as well, then they made that money back. So technically they made a loss on each Wii U console by £5, but that was it. So Nintendo typically don't make something at a loss.
Yeah, it's they definitely did not make a loss on those bloody NES consoles.
No, not at all. So, but my point is being that they would have been conservative what they would have made, because they were like, right, we reckon we could sell this amount and maybe a bit more.
Yeah, I'd have said that the way they'd have done it is said, we expect we could sell 5 million units, let's make 4 million. Because there's at least a million, there's probably 1 million people in that 5 million that are just like, not really that bothered, I'll buy one if I find one, but I'm not going to pre-order it. So I don't know. I guess long story short, I expect they'll make more. Will people get them? I don't know. Maybe it'll be easier to get this time.
I don't know. It seems it's sold out everywhere in the UK. I don't know about the rest of the world, but the news reports were UK instantly sold out.
They're still kind of, shops are still will occasionally say, oh, we've been allocated this many more pre-orders, and
and they just go like that.
But I think a lot of people have pre-ordered, although you can only get one on Amazon, I bet there's people that have ordered one on Amazon, 2 on Game, 1 on Tesco, 1 on GameStop, and just people have got 1 or 2 pre-ordered from multiple different places with the intention of scalping them.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll be seeing photos again with people with 100 of them or something stupid.
Yeah,
Then I really hope people don't spend £300 on these things to get one.
Yeah.
I hope people just don't bother and go, well, I'm not going to buy that. Fuck it. Those people, and then it'll force those people to have to try and sell them off.
Yeah, I mean that's it happened with the Switch. To be fair, people, I saw some great Craigslist adverts where someone bought 3. Kept 1. It was like, oh, I bought 1 for my friend and 1 for my brother, but they never paid me back. I was like, yeah, whatever. It was like, I just want to make my money back now, and people weren't buying them. So I don't think that scalping is going to end by any any stretch of the imagination.
When the product's in demand, people will pay. But I hope with these kind of things, people just start going, fuck it. I didn't get one for that price, so I'm not paying more for it.
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's enough to go around, and like we can figure it out from there. Right. So, I suppose, have you got anything else to add? Any more NES or SNES comments?
No, not really.
No, I mean it's we spoke about it last week. The things went bonkers, but yeah. So Assassin's Creed is getting an anime series like Castlevania, and I think I wrote down director. I think it's the producer is the same on both. So expect the same kind of thing from both series.
I find it interesting that we seem to be getting a trend now of video games getting animated series on, some kind of streaming site, which is pretty awesome. I think.
Yeah,
I'm interested in this as well, as much as Castlevania. I want to see what they're going to do with with the characters and stuff. I mean, the thing is with Assassin's Creed, they can have their own character and do their own adventure stuff. They don't need to tie it to the games that much, other than the assassins.
It makes me wonder if it's going to be solely based on the assassins, or if Desmond's going to play a part in it, or if it's going to be like so many episodes and each person is assigned it. Like Desmond gets an episode, and then like the other guys.
You don't even need those characters. They can just have their own. They can have someone coming into the what are they called? The booth things.
Animus
pods. Animus. That's it. Yeah. Just going in and finding out his heritage, and finds out he's an assassin, and
I mean the
stops the plot.
The image that has been sort of thrown around is kind of like the assassins that we know, like walking in a line. So I expect that it's going to be based on the others. I want to say spoilers, but I think it's old enough now. But like Desmond dies.
Spoilers!
I know,
Jeez.
Right? It's like saying Darth Vader was Luke's father. Like, yeah, we know. It's not a spoiler anymore.
My God, you're just destroying it for everybody right now.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be based on the assassins.
You'd hope so.
Like the ones we know, not just other assassins. I think it's going to be the I think it's going to be characters we sort of have heard of. But at the same time, I mean, I never really got into the Assassin's Creed story, the games. I think the stories were fine, but the games kind of frustrated me a little bit. The one that I really liked was Black Flag.
Yeah,
so I kind of hope there's some piratey ones. But yeah, I mean, overall I don't really know how to feel. Like I say, I'm not big into Assassin's Creed, so
I still need to watch the movie.
Apparently it's bad. Apparently it's bad. It's a bad film.
Maybe, but it's got Fassbender and he's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Well, once I've watched it, I'll let you know.
I don't know. I often don't think a good actor can save a bad film. But I don't know. Maybe. Although completely off topic. Well, somewhat off topic. No, completely off topic. I did finally watch Ant-Man, and that was okay.
Yay! It's a great film, isn't it?
I quite liked it. I liked the best bit was the big fight at the end, where he's fighting Yellow Jacket and makes that Thomas the Tank Engine huge.
Oh yeah, that's incredible.
And it sort of crashes through the house and lands on the lawn.
That's so good. What was it a spider or something that they make really big?
Oh, it's just another ant.
An ant, yeah.
Make a giant ant, and it's underneath the table eating a dinner at the end.
That was awesome. That film was so good.
It was really good.
It was basically just a heist film, which was great.
Yeah, it really was. And it's kind of made me want to watch all the other Marvel films that I've not yet got round to watching.
There's I've got well, I say Marvel, but technically it's Marvel. Logan. I still need to watch Logan.
Yeah, I need to watch Logan. Wonder Woman, I need to watch Wonder Woman.
That's DC, but yeah, I need
Yeah,
to see Wonder Woman.
Marvel versus Marvel versus Capcom. Yeah, Batman versus Superman.
Have you seen Suicide Squad?
No, I kind of
I
don't want to.
really enjoyed that film. I thought it was really, really good.
But it's got very little to do with the Suicide Squad, and it's just a
Well, I don't know. I haven't read those comics, so I don't know.
just a Harley Quinn wank fest. That's all it is.
Oh, it really was.
It's not even the right Harley Quinn. It's the wrong one.
She was absolutely fantastic in that film, and I can't wait for the Harley Quinn standalone movie.
Oh, it's just.
I just want basically anything with Margot Robbie. I'm happy with.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've not seen it, and I want to see it. So
Yeah, you should do. I quite like the colours that they used. It was quite kind of punk rocky, and it had a quite cool vibe to the film, and it flowed quite quickly, and I wasn't bored through any of it, and I was just kind of struck at how good Margot Robbie did Harley Quinn, because I love Harley Quinn.
yeah, I mean the one thing that I think the one thing that I read about it that I was kind of like it was like, here's Suicide Squad and Harley Quinn. So the film's Harley Quinn, and it's got the members of Suicide Squad in that are just kind of see them milling around in the background. It's like when you go to a play and there's one really famous guy in the play and everybody else is just a supporting actor. It doesn't matter if they're the lead of the play; they're just the supporting actor to
Basically,
the famous person.
The movie is basically Will Smith was meant to be the lead in that film. He was like the main star. Obviously, Margot Robbie was also like a main star in it, but she just completely stole the film.
I'm sure she completely stole the film for you. I don't know. You don't know what kind of goes on. You don't know what happened in editing, but I kind of imagine they were just like, yeah, she's got boobs. She can be the lead.
Well, the story is it basically is about Harley Quinn. The whole story.
Yeah, I suppose I suppose it must be. Well, it is obviously. The ones that I've sort of read, Harley Quinn's kind of like the supporting character. Is it Deadshot? Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's Will Smith.
Deadshot is the like leader of the Suicide Squad traditionally.
Yeah.
So yeah. He was like recruited in to try and make these misfit and vigilantes kind of do what they're supposed to do. And Harlequin's really only there because she's kind of fearless. And like sort of good acrobat and sort of kind of like Catwoman, but a bit more mental.
Yeah.
And I think she has like a certain kind of like infamy for being kind of associated with the Joker, so I think she's got quite a lot of sway. But I mean the one I read, there was just before Suicide Squad came out, there was a film, like an animated film. It was like an Arkham. It was kind of like an Arkham Asylum or an Arkham City game. So they had to break into. What happened? The Riddler's staff apparently had like a USB drive in it that has all the Riddler's secrets, and the Riddler is the only person who's worked out who Batman is.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, I don't know why he's not sharing it. I think it's just more fun to keep it secret, maybe. But anyway, the staff ends up in Arkham Asylum, and someone sends the Suicide Squad in to retrieve the staff, and it kind of goes along a bit, and then while they're all inside while they're all in Arkham, they go past the cell with Joker in it, and Joker's kind of winding up Harley Quinn, and there's a bit in it where Harley Quinn goes like nuts and tries to shoot him through the bars, but constantly hits one spot on the wall, which is where the control panel for the door is. And it's kind of like, does she know what she's doing? Or is she purposefully trying to release him? Or is she, like, she's not a bad shot. So and it's one of these things where all the way through you're just like, did she do that on purpose? Did she release him on purpose? And that was really good because you don't really know what because although she's crying and telling him she hates him and she's trying to shoot him in the face, she's just constantly, she like lets him out and you kind of can't ever figure out why. It was a really good film.
I'll have to watch that then.
Yeah, it's really good. And at the end there's a fight with like, is it Deadshot or is it Batman? I think it is Deadshot with there's a fight with Deadshot and Joker, and Deadshot's just beating him to a bloody pulp and the Joker's just laughing at him, and it gets him really riled up, and he's still just like, he's not even fighting back. But yeah, he ends up getting away, and no one knows why the Joker, or where the Joker's gone, or how he even got away. But yeah, it was really good. It was well worth watching. If only I could remember the name of it. I think it was something was like Suicide Squad, Arkham something.
I'll have to have a look and see what it's like.
You should.
I did watch the Lego Batman at the weekend.
Oh yeah, is that any good?
Oh my god, it's so good. It's actually better than the first Lego movie, and I thought that was incredible. Well, this is so well paced. They reference everything to do with Batman from, the 1960s Adam West all the way up to present day. They get all his moods and everything, and just it's kind of taking the piss, but also being respectful as well. It's basically a movie you can just nerd out to. It's so good. I don't want to say too much if you haven't watched it, because it's so worth watching.
I mean, it's not even sort of like nothing to do with like the story of the Lego films, but I mean, I like that the Lego films, they will put it's like they will model thumbprints onto the little Lego men to make it look like it's a stop motion. It's not. It's all completely CG.
The intro to the film looks like a stop animation. It was done really, really well, because I turned to my friend Rob, who I was watching it with, and I was like, "This is meant to be CG, isn't it? This looks like stop motion. It's done so well."
It turns out, I heard about this on another podcast. What they do is they animate the whole thing, and then they just take frames out, so it looks like they skip frames, so it looks more stop motion than and I was like, that's good
genius.
Idea. Yeah, really good. We are well off topic. And that film is called Batman Assault on Arkham.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, it's really, really good.
You definitely have to check out Lego Batman. It's so good. The soundtrack's quite interesting. It's not really a soundtrack I would particularly listen to, but it works quite well in the theme of what's going on.
I just find it really difficult to have time to sit down and watch a film. I will get back into films eventually one day, but I guess it's when all these things are classified as old and showing on the old film channels.
The movie, I was watching it on Blu-ray, and the movie has an Atmos soundtrack, and because I've got an Atmos setup now, it uses it quite well. It doesn't use it like overboard or anything. It, like when helicopters are going over, you can kind of hear them over your head. But there's a particular scene in the film where there's a load of mirrors and Joker is running around saying different things in different areas, and it goes through the different speaker channels, and then at one point you can like hear him talking over you. It was really cool. I was like, oh, that's so good. But anyway, we should get back on with the news.
We should. So, on to the next bit. Crash Bandicoot was a huge success. It was number 1 in all the charts. It sold so many. It had basically zero. It's had a very little marketing budget. I mean, there was someone saying that the Horizon Zero Dawn had a huge marketing budget. It was on like buses.
The thing is that this is brand new IP, so it needs that budget to actually get that name out. Crash, everyone knows who Crash Bandicoot is.
Yeah, and it's still really popular. It's still really popular on the PlayStation. So,
well, I think one of the big reasons is why is you could play the first level on Uncharted 4. So, I think that give it kind of everyone was like, oh yeah, I used to love Crash Bandicoot. Oh, I wish they'd make do a remake, and then. Poof.
Yeah, I think they've I think they've really hit on something. So it's not. I mean, I think it's been sold at about 30 quid, so it's
it's like £10
20 quid less than like a new game, like a AAA game, say. But it's made ridiculous amounts of money, and I think it shows that there's still still life in old games. I mean, you were saying that before we started, you were saying that Micro Machines is number 2.
Yeah,
both 2 retro properties, number 1 and number 2 in the charts. So
yeah, it's cool. I was really happy that we got to number 2.
I think that we're probably going to come to a situation where we get like retro games remade or remastered fairly regularly now, and I don't see why that's a bad thing, because you tend to be in a bit of a drought between big AAA titles. So if we have big AAAs and then smaller remastered games between,
I have no problem with remastered games as long as they take a bit of care and due diligence on how they do it. It's fine, no problem, because you don't have to. A lot of people they bitch and moan about oh well, they shouldn't be doing that, they should be making new games and it's just a cash in, blah blah blah. But it's how you kind of preserve these titles and open them up to a new audience that never got to experience them 20 years ago.
And these were good games. I would rather have like a remastered good game than a brand new bad one.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're not being forced to buy these games. You have that option whether you go buy that or not.
Yeah.
If you're really not interested in replaying that game again, just don't buy it. Don't worry about it. But there's going to be people that are. So I wouldn't mind picking this collection up at some point this year. I'll probably get it towards the end of the year because I've got a lot of games to play through. But yeah, I'm happy for it. It's awesome. I know people that don't play games too much these days, and they bought this and they're like, oh, it's bringing back my childhood. See, I really want them to do a Spyro the Dragon trilogy. I would love a remake of the Spyro games.
Yeah, the Spyro games were really good.
Well, you know how much I love Spyro. I've got him tattooed on my left arm, so I'll be well up for a HD remake of Spyro, for sure.
I'm not sure I'm not sure if there's any sort of game that I'd really want. Well, I know I can think of several off the top of my head, but we'll go into that a little bit in a minute.
I'd love to see a couple of N64 games like Mario 64 and the Ocarina of Time running on. You know how some people have done some demos in the Unreal 4 engine and they looked incredible. I'd love to see those games done like that. That'd be so cool.
Yeah,
I'd definitely play through them again.
What would I guess I'd probably go on about it a lot, but Stubbs the Zombie was so good. I mean, it was kind of like cartoony, but kind of. I kind of don't think you could do like a traditional HD remake. Maybe do what they did with Crash, but it wasn't. I mean, it's only a single game. It's not an IP. It'd have to be kind of like an IP thing. I genuinely don't know what I would give the Crash Bandicoot treatment off the top of my head. I should really try and think about it. But we should really get onto the main topic.
Yes.
And I'm falling asleep, and I don't know why. I think it's just 'cause
It is really hot, that's why.
I think it's just 'cause I'm warm, and it kind of makes me tired. So, you said, what console would you like to get a mini version of, and what games would you like on it? And you went on at length about the N64.
Yeah, last week. But the thing is, that's pretty much a given that that's going to happen, for sure.
I really hope they just skip it and go to the GameCube.
You bastard, no.
Or they're just like, no, Virtual Console, that's the last one.
Oh, we've had that guy, Kingy, he really wants the N64 mini, so let's not do it.
Yeah, let's do anything but.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would do handhelds, like Game Boy Color with games built in, and like a proper Game Boy. It's not really a mini, but like you can't change the cartridge. It's just or like an original Game Boy, but with like built-in games. Maybe.
I really don't know. I don't know if they would sell, to be honest.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
But
they would need to take less than 4 AA batteries.
Would, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right.
Anyway, have you got a console that you would like?
I have got one. It's a console. It's a console that I would like to have a mini version of with built-in games. It's so obvious that I'm not even going to talk about it. Our listeners will just saying this. Our listeners will be like, "Yeah, I agree."
What?
No, I mean it's. I think it's the one console that everyone loved. It kind of burnt bright, but not for very long. It's got a library of some of the most incredible games that were released in that time. It did a lot of things.
PS1?
No, that's bad. No,
What?
Dreamcast.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be awesome.
The Dreamcast was it had so many great, amazing games.
It was so ahead of its time as well.
Yeah, it came out in a bad time. It burnt really bright, but like I say,
Although that controller was awful.
I don't know. I kind of got on okay with the controller.
No.
I like the VMU. VMU was a spectacular idea.
Oh yeah, it was great. Yeah.
I mean, I played. The one game that I would like to have on it is Skies of Arcadia. It's one of my favourite games of all time, and that had a VMU game where you just sort of a boat went across the screen and you just moved it up and down to avoid enemies and collect boxes, and then when you played the game, you could go to a shop in game and download the things that you caught onto your save. Which, I mean, the stuff you caught was never that great. There was no crafting, or you'd get a couple of potions or like some things to sell. But it just gave you something to do when you were out and about, and it gave you a reason to do it, because you could like get the stuff when you'd gone back to your game. So like I would go to my grandparents' house and just play this game all day and get loads of like boxes and things. So I mean that was the VMU was such a good idea. But other than that, I'm just kind of looking through some of these games and trying to decide what else I would have on it. So I mean, there's Shenmue that I never really got into.
Yeah, Shenmue would both 1 and 2 would have to be on there.
I think you're probably right. Sonic Adventure was not even a great game, not even a great Sonic
game. But it still had to
but
be on there.
Yeah, it was still. I quite enjoyed it. Power Stone and Power Stone 2 were so good. They were really like classic 4-player co-op, or it's not even specifically co-op. I think it was trying to be co-op at points, but Jet Set Radio we've had on just about every console, I think. So
yeah, Crazy Taxi's got to be on there.
Crazy Taxi, yes. Soul Calibur, really good fighting games.
Yeah, Space Channel 5, that'd have to be on there.
Yes, Space Channel 5. Resident Evil Code Veronica. I'm not really into Code Veronica. Loads of really good fighting games. Marvel
Dead or Alive 2?
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom, Street Fighter Third Strike, Ikaruga, which is kind of like a really big, one of the really big Japanese games. Grandia 2, another big JRPG. Samba de Amigo, which was kind of a weird Bomani game with maracas.
You wouldn't be able to, the problem with that, you wouldn't really be able to use that game without those maracas.
Yeah, so unless the Mini comes with a variety of different peripherals, then probably not. House of the Dead, which wouldn't work on modern TVs.
Game,
so
yeah, you couldn't do that.
Typing of the Dead, which was such a good
you need
idea.
The keyboard.
Yeah, I guess if it had a USB port, you could use any keyboard with it.
I guess so, yeah.
The Legacy of Kain games.
Oh, yeah.
Virtua Fighter, Marvel's Captain, Quake 3 Arena. Okay, I mean that would be an online game, but for like 4-player couch games,
okay,
it'd work.
I can't believe you haven't pointed this one out yet. Choo Choo Rocket.
Yes, Choo Choo Rocket. That would be. I mean, it's a fun puzzle game. It's a bit weird, but
they could also do that in 4-player, which was cool.
Yeah, I mean what else is? I used to play Wet Tricks a lot on mine. That was a really good game. The one that I did play a lot of was Phantasy Star Online. But then, would it work online? Would it have? It probably wouldn't have like a lot of these things in it. So, probably not. Although saying that, it'd only need a network port. So, I mean, it could. MDK. Right, it says MDK2. I think that was the one that came out. Then there was like the Spider-Man games. Half-Life came out on it. Blue Stinger was another good RPG. There was a game called Silver, which was a really good RPG. But yeah, it was home to a lot of really good RPGs. It was home to a lot of good fighting games.
Sega Bass Fishing as well.
Sega Bass Fishing was such a good game.
And Seaman.
Yeah, Seaman was on this list.
It was a bizarre game.
I kind of don't really understand. Like, I've seen videos and I've like kind of researched into it. I still don't really know what it is or what it does.
It's just a fish that talks to you.
Yeah, you kind of grow it and like raise it and hope it evolves into certain things. Oh, here's a really good kart racing game, which was on many different consoles, but the Dreamcast was by far the best one. Wacky Races.
I never actually played that.
It was really good. Really, 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 really good. Dynamite Cop, which I think is I don't think it's a light gun game, actually. But yeah, just home to lots of really good games. Nothing particularly... nothing that's really carried on to other consoles. Just some... like, just really fun, really... kind of like different. Some ways they were really different. In other ways they were just like a whole host of yet more fighting games, but they were just all of them just really, really, really classic games. And it's the one console that when I was selling my my consoles that I just don't play, I sold my boxed Dreamcast with a load of games. And I was kind of sorry to see it go, but then I kept a whole load of games, and I've got an unboxed one, and I do kind of try and play it from time to time. That was a good one. Ready to Rumble Boxing.
Oh yeah,
really good boxing simulator,
yeah,
like really arcadey. Legacy of Kain we've mentioned, Code Veronica, Power Stone we've gone through. So I mean, I guess that would be my console to have. I think it's. I mean, the games are not particularly that big. So they could fit several of them.
They're around about a gig each, aren't they? It would work out to be.
Probably shorter than that. I mean, these are only CDs, so you're looking at about 700 meg.
There were GD-ROMs, and they were a bit bigger than a CD. I think each GD-ROM could hold 1.2 gig.
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but yeah, I know there were GD-ROMs, but it's still, there was no copy protection. You could burn a game to a CD and play it.
Yeah, the thing is, you had to compress things down, though.
Yeah, eventually there were tools that kind of just did it for you, but I'm sure they were. Yeah. I'm sure it was fairly easy to do. What am I thinking of? I think when they said when they mentioned the GameCube, or it might have been this one. I'm sure someone said that the discs span the wrong way. so you couldn't burn them on a traditional ROM, like a traditional burner. Yeah, maximum data size of 1.2 gig.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the Dreamcast is definitely a good shout. I hadn't even thought about that. It's like, I'm sure Sony will look at the success of these NES and SNES minis, and I reckon they'll end up doing a PlayStation 1, which would be awesome.
I think a PlayStation 1 would be pretty good, but
I would definitely buy a PlayStation 1.
Oh yeah, the good PlayStation games.
I need it in my collection, considering I'm collecting PlayStation 1. So
the really good PlayStation games were all sort of like multi-disc though, which makes it quite hard, I think.
I don't know. It depends how they do the ROMs, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
That would need a significant amount, like a NES and a SNES game were like a couple of meg each, like really tiny.
Oh yeah, these would have to be quite expensive, I guess, because they'd have to have like at least 64 gig of RAM. Not RAM, of memory.
Yeah, but then, I mean that's still not that much when you consider how cheap, like ROM chips are. It's.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, how many games? Like, Nintendo's only putting like 20 games on, so. You know, what's 20 games? It's not that. It's a few gig, isn't it?
20 games, if you assume like 700 meg. I know it's like 750 meg, but you're looking at what, kind of 14 gig?
Yeah, there you go.
So,
well, 32 gig.
Yeah, 16, 32 gig. I mean, they're cheap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I suppose it's doable. Kind of cost effective as well. If you buy the chips in the millions, then
yeah.
You know, they don't really cost anything, so I guess it's doable.
Yeah, I'd definitely do that. But my pick, I would absolutely love an Amiga Mini.
Yeah, I sort of looked at this list and I was like, how on earth would that work? But I mean, would it be like a full size keyboard? I mean, I know they've got the mini like Sinclairs that have. Like
all these games work on a pad, and a joystick and a mouse. So all you'd have to do is have a joystick and that came with the or just a normal pad, any old pad that came with the console. And then if you used a USB keyboard and mouse, you could play the games with a mouse.
Yeah.
You don't. To be honest, none of the games actually needed a keyboard. So.
Yeah.
So I'd definitely love to have an Amiga. So the games that I would absolutely love to have on it. Straight away, Cannon Fodder. Have to have Cannon Fodder on there.
Yeah, Cannon Fodder was a really good game.
I loved Cannon Fodder. It's an amazing game.
I played it on the SNES a lot on the SNES actually.
See, like all these games I've got listed, I played on the Amiga. And I spent so many hours playing them. But Cannon Fodder, I always think about once you've lost, when you've lost guys, you have the cutscene where you're getting more recruits coming in, but on the hills, more and more crosses are put there for the people that have died.
Yeah,
and you're kind of like, oh no, I've got so many crosses.
Yeah,
I feel really bad. That was really cool. Little scene that they had there. Lemmings, again, has to be on there.
It kind of does have to be on there, but how many times have I played Lemmings? I can't play Lemmings again. I can't.
Oh, I could always play Lemmings. I love Lemmings. The thing is, Lemmings was built for a mouse as well, so the Amiga version was just the supreme version.
It's really good
compared to the consoles. New Zealand Story. Did you ever play that?
I did. I loved New Zealand Story.
It was such a great platformer. I had so much fun playing that game. Playing that as that little yellow chick.
It was a Kiwi, wasn't it?
Was it a Kiwi? Whatever it was. I never knew what it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I had so much fun playing that, and it had so many characters on screen at once. It was amazing.
I
remember just sitting there once going, oh, I can't believe how many characters are on the screen at one time.
I think it was hard.
Oh, it was really hard, yeah. Then another classic platforming game, Zool,
Yeah, Zool's really good. Really fast
which was
as
sponsored
well.
by Chupa Chups.
Yeah,
The whole entire world was just Chupa Chup stuff.
couldn't get away with it nowadays.
And Bassett all sorts.
Yeah,
It
couldn't
was
do it
incredible.
nowadays.
It was amazing, and he was the ninja from the nth dimension.
Yeah, I never really understood what that meant.
No, I had no idea. I just used to love it. I used to love the logo. It just had the Z and the L, and then the two O's was his eyes.
Yeah.
Really cool logo. So cool. But yeah, like you said, it was extremely fast. I went back to play it the other day, and I was like, oh my god, how did I play this? It's too quick. I can't get anywhere.
Yeah, I remember that.
You definitely had to know what was coming up next. It was very much a trial and error game.
I agree with that.
One of my all-time favorite games, the Chaos Engine, needs to be on there.
Yeah, loved Chaos Engine.
Loved Chaos Engine, and also it's a two-player game as well, so
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
that'd be good to do. Yeah, Speedball 2, another two-player game, amazing game. One of the best sports games ever made. Even though it's based on a fictional sport.
Yeah.
I used to love that. There was a little bit at the side of the map where you could throw the ball up. It would go up like tubing, and then come out the other side, and it would be like a charged ball or something. And you could hit players down with it. Oh, I used to love that. That was so cool. You gain extra points for it.
I played that a lot with what console did I play it on? I played it a lot on the Master System, oddly enough, because a friend of mine had it on the Master System.
There was a game that was similar. It was about, I think it was called Future Basketball, and I remember you used to be able to have chainsaws and stuff and kill people. That was also an awesome game. That's just popped into my head now because it's very much like Speedball 2. Yeah, I'm sure it was Future Basketball. Yeah, I'd include that as well if I could.
Yeah, if you're actually remembering that was the right game.
Yeah, Alien Breed. Did you ever play that?
I did play Alien Breed. I played Alien Breed a bit recently on my phone. I found it insanely difficult to play.
It was such a good game. Just going through, navigating through a ship and finding, blasting your way through aliens and finding your way through the broken up ship. I recently played through the quote unquote remakes of Alien Breed that they put out a few years ago on Steam. It just didn't have the charm. It was just a very kind of meh. It's just generic space. Shoot some aliens through some corridors thing. It just didn't have the same essence that the first game did. I loved the first one so much. It was so good.
Yeah, I think a lot of these games kind of like it loses something, doesn't it?
It really does. Because it was going into third person, and you were slightly above him, but not all the way over the top like it was in the original, and the character just wasn't there. It was like the new one was just so bleak and just had no character whatsoever. It was really boring. I was really disappointed in it. I mean, it played okay. It didn't have anything that the original had, unfortunately. So it's kind of sad. Cool Spot.
Yes.
Loved Cool Spot. And that was another game that had a sponsorship with 7-Up.
It was 7-Up, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was really weird. All these platformers had all these advertisements in them.
It was which one had I remember one of the games had a sponsorship with Virgin Cola, but it was a Virgin, like back when Virgin were trying to be a publisher, I think.
Was that Cool Spot?
I thought it was Cool Spot because 7-Up was
What was 7-Up then?
7-Up was Fido Dido.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it must have been Virgin Cola with Cool Spot then.
I'm still not convinced.
Because that seems right that it was. Or was it? I can't remember now. I'm getting confused. But yeah, I do remember Virgin Cola having one.
Well, Cool Spot. Cool Spot was. Cool Spot was published by Virgin Games.
Right, but was it 7
But
Up?
it was 7 Up.
Yeah. There was one with Virgin. I do remember Virgin Cola being in the game, but I can't think what it was.
I really remember. I can vividly remember one, but I don't know what it was.
Well, I would have to investigate that.
Yeah.
Another great platformer for the Amiga was Super Frog, and this one had no sponsorships in it.
No.
that I can remember anyway.
That was really hard though.
Oh yeah, it was so cool because you had all these secret passageways and stuff on it. That you kind of like head butted the wall and then it would just go, and then just tons of coins would be under there and stuff like that. It was really cool. Used to love. It was kind of like Mario meets Sonic because he would run really fast and his feet would be going around like in a circle like Sonic. But then you've got the traditional platforming of Mario. It was kind of like a mashup of the two.
Yeah,
you could also glide along because you had a cape. You could glide along quite a lot through the levels. That was really cool.
Yeah, I liked Super Frog. I had it on my phone again very briefly, and really enjoyed it there.
Yeah, it's such a cool game. Another game for the mouse, and it has to be on here, which is Monkey Island.
Yep, it has to be played with the mouse, so you couldn't play it with the. Well, I suppose you could.
One of the greatest point and click games ever made. So and it was amazing on the Amiga. So that has to be on there.
Yeah.
Another great point and click adventure was Simon the Sorcerer.
Yeah, a bit not as I want to say mature or adult as Monkey Island, but still a really good game.
Yeah, so cool. Turrican has to be on there. One of the best platformer shooter games ever.
I forget Turrican is multi-platform because it came out on the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it was a multi-platform, but it wasn't. I don't think it was that popular on there because most people really liked Contra, but for the Amiga, Turrican was the game, and it was far superior on the Amiga anyway.
It was a good game.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Extremely hard though. Extremely hard. Apidia. Did you ever play that?
Never heard of that. Sounds like a disease.
Basically, you played as a wasp. I think it was a wasp, or it could have been one of the. It wasn't a bee, but it was. What's that other one that kind of looks like?
Not a wasp or a bee. Are you talking about a hornet, maybe?
Yeah, it could have been a hornet. Yeah, it was one of those kind of. I can't remember exactly what it was. I feel like it was a wasp, but it could have been a hornet. I can't remember. But yeah, you play as one of those creatures, and you're just flying through a garden and you're just shooting. So it's you think Gallagher.
Yeah.
But it's just with basically being in a backyard and taking on worms and flies and plants and things like that. It was such an awesome shooter, and then the soundtrack was incredible. I highly recommend you go and have a look on YouTube and watch some clips and listen to the music. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Another great shooter space game was Super Stardust. Now this was only available on the Amiga 1200 because it needed the extra processing power. But my god, it was incredible. It looked amazing. It was kind of like pseudo 3D as well.
Oh, I like it when they do pseudo 3D games.
Yeah, it was so cool. You basically you were flying through space and destroying ships and rocks and things like that. But it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Again, another awesome soundtrack. Super Skid Marks. Used to love playing that.
Yeah, I would just like to play as a cow with wheels.
It was just so much fun. The maps were really small, but you just used to zip through them really quickly, and oh yeah, it was so much fun.
There was a track editor, wasn't there?
I believe there was as well. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember doing it as a kid, but I do think there was a track editor. Yeah.
I remember there being one and thinking, wow, I can make my own levels, and never actually doing it.
Yeah, I didn't do it either. Micro Machines, obviously, that was an amazing game. I loved that on there. Dizzy.
Yeah.
Pretty much any of the Dizzies can be on there. I'll be happy with that. Any of the Dizzies. Road Rash. Used to love playing Road Rash.
Yeah, although, to be fair, I only played it on the Mega Drive.
I used to love just falling off my bike and then leaving the bike and then just running for the rest of the race. Because he used to have the funniest animation. Because he was kind of still in the position of being on the bike, but his legs and arms would just move up and down. It was incredible. Used to love that. Another great platforming game was Wiz and Liz.
Huh.
Did you ever play that?
Yeah, definitely not on the Amiga, but I might have played it.
I think it was on the Mega Drive. I'm not sure if it was on the SNES. I'm pretty sure it was on the Mega Drive. But you just played as a wizard and a witch. It was like a co-op game you could play.
Yeah.
You were just going through them. I don't remember a hell of a lot about it. I just remember just loving the design of the levels. It was like, I remember one bit where you're in the woods and it just looked incredible, and you were just your average platforming game. But I just remember loving that game. And then one of the all-time classic platforming games, Chuck Rock.
Chuck
Has to be
really
on
good.
there. I love Chuck Rock. The Son of Chuck Rock was also really good as well.
Yeah, Son of Chuck Rock was pretty good, to be fair.
But yeah, that would be my list for the Amiga. They're all just amazingly classic games.
Yeah.
And they all still hold up today. That's the other thing as well. They're all really fun to play now.
And it's strange that the like the Amiga games and things, they've kind of held up really well. There's some like Mega Drive and, well, I guess this is going to be some Amiga games that are just absolutely awful. Same way that there's SNES and Mega Drive games that are absolutely awful. But
oh yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, like a lot. I mean, these games I put on here, quite a lot of them were multi-platform as well, but they were just so much better on the Amiga. Looked better, played better, and sounded way better as well.
Yeah,
the audio on the Amiga was incredible.
I suppose that'd be the reason why like a mini Amiga would probably sell quite well, because a lot of the kids at the time, like, these things were expensive, so a lot of people couldn't afford one.
Yeah, my dad had a Commodore 64, and that was the first one that I ever played on. Was the 64.
Yeah,
and then we sold the 64 to get an Amiga 500, and we had the Amiga 500 for years, and then we sold the Amiga 500 to get an Amiga 1200, and or did we? No, actually, I think we kept the 500. We actually bought a 1200 as well, so we had both, I believe. And then we ended up selling them. We kept some bits, but we ended up selling them, and we got our first PC.
I think they were the gateway to PCs, really.
Well, yeah, it's just, well, if you look at the history of the Amiga, the reason it died is because of the way the management treated it. It could have gone on for a long time, and it probably still, well, technically the Amiga platform is still around today. Yeah, but it's just not on the level what it used to be and what it could have been if it wasn't mismanaged.
Yeah, but I guess that's a story for another day.
Yeah, definitely.
And what have you done? What have you done this week? I guess
I bought some games in this Steam sale.
Oh, did you actually buy some? What did you get?
I did, yeah. Let's see. I picked up Firewatch, and I've been playing through that, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If you like your walking simulator type games, this is one of the best ones by far.
No, absolutely
it's really,
don't.
really good. yeah, really enjoying that. I picked up. What's the Remedy's new game? I forgot what it's called now.
Remedy's new game.
With
Quantum
the TV
Break.
show. Quantum Break, yeah. I picked up that. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I picked up Who's Your Daddy?
Don't
You've
know
seen that?
one.
It's a multiplayer game, and like it's not like a very good game. It's just one of those games that's bad, but it's still quite enjoyable to play. It's one. If you do a 2-player game, basically one person plays as the dad, and the other one plays as the baby, and the objective of the dad is to keep the baby alive by making the house safe and stopping him from doing stuff, and the baby's job is to find anything and everything that can kill yourself with.
Yeah, no, I do know that one.
I was playing it at lunchtime last week, and it's just hilarious. Yeah, there's I killed myself by crawling into an oven, turning it on, and cooking myself to death. I killed myself by eating the dog's poo.
Oh, come on.
I killed myself by drowning myself in the pool, and I've killed myself drinking tons of bleach. So it's just a dumb game like that. It was only like £2, so I picked it up and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, not too bad for £2 then.
No, not at all. What else did I picked up a couple of other things as well. I bought Binary Domain.
Do I know that one?
It was the third-person action cover shooter from the 360. It was meant to be really good, but it never really got any traction.
What's it like?
I don't know. I haven't played it yet.
Oh, well. God.
That's it. Oh, I watched through the series Glow as well on Netflix, which is really good.
I saw it and I was like, this looks really good. And it was like, about wrestling. I was like, nope.
Yeah, it's all about the women's promotion back in the 80s called Glow, and it stands for Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. And it's basically, it's not like a full-on drama documentary, but it's inspired by those events. So they've got it stays somewhat faithful to the story, but they've obviously taken liberties in making a drama out of it.
Yeah,
but
I expect
it's really good. You don't need to enjoy wrestling to enjoy the show.
What have I done? I've done a surprising amount this week, actually, which is unusual for me. I've
done then.
Yeah, quite. So what have I been doing? I've played. I just borrowed a whole bunch of games. So I've been playing more Mad Max, which is a game I bought ages ago and barely touched. I've still only done like 2 or 3 main missions, and I'm just running around ruining everyone's day.
Yeah, I just really love driving around the desert and finding stuff.
What have I played? I played something that I was just like, this is going to be really good. Played it for like 20 minutes. I was just like, this is not for me, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. I did borrow Near Automata, what something. And played the first mission for 30 minutes, got to the first boss, died, and then it doesn't auto-save, but it doesn't let you save until after the first boss.
Right.
So basically I had to restart
again.
The whole thing again, so that really annoyed me. But yeah, I actually I'm really enjoying that. It's like a hack and slash with RPG elements, but it's done by Platinum as well as Square, or Squeenix, I suppose. So it's very kind of Bayonetta and hack and slash RPG. So I'm really enjoying that. What else was I playing? I played something else. I decided I was finally going to get into Overwatch.
Oh yeah.
So a friend of mine was just like, you should buy it, we'll play it together, you should buy it. And whenever someone says, you should buy a game, we'll play it together, it usually means, you should buy a game, I will never play it with you. But we've played it a couple of times, and I've actually played it a couple of times on my own. I quite enjoy just kind of running around and playing the game alone, which is not something that I do. Like multiplayer shooters, I usually have to play them with someone because I find them terribly boring otherwise. But this one, I don't know what it is with this one. It's just quite a good game. I mean, the action happens fairly fast. You can be kind of helpful. You need to be in a game with a good team. And once you've got a good team, then you can be fairly helpful, even if you're not kind of killing anyone. So sometimes I'll just be the healer and run around and heal people. But there's a healer that kind of does long range damage as well, so I tend to play them. And then there's like the other kind of more damagey ones I don't get on very well with, and the tanks are quite good because they just kind of shield everyone. So yeah, really, it's just a pretty good game.
Cool. Yeah, a lot of people at work play it, so
yeah. I mean, I'm not a very high level. I don't anticipate that I'll ever get to that higher level. The friend that I play with, like, prestiged 3 times or something. And it was just like, oh yeah, it's really easy. I'm like level 10, and I've been playing for ages. I'm just like, no, it's not really easy. But
I just can't bring myself to pay that amount of money for a game I'll play a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of expected that. I mean, I got it on sale. Well, there was a Tesco sale that sold it for like 26 quid. So I sort of thought, well, 26 quid just to play a game with one of my friends every now and then, it's not a bad deal. But I actually enjoy it, so.
That's cool then. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I suppose we should do social media links.
Yay. Everyone can follow us.
Yeah, everyone can follow us. I'm on Pondis Plays on Facebook and Twitter. We are on nothingtoplay.co.uk and Nothing to Play on Facebook. And you are on Bold Bearded Gamer in a couple of places, and Ivan's are on one of them, and I can't remember which one's which.
Yeah, Ivan_Zar is spelled ZARR on Twitter, and Bold Bearded Gamer on Instagram and YouTube, and I've also got a Facebook page there as well. Yeah, that's it. That's where I am.
That's it. That's where we are. So I guess
come say hello.
Yeah, you should. Everyone should come and say hello. So that was, I'm going to tell you what episode number it was at the end of the episode. That was episode 25. So we're, I think we should do something big for 50 and maybe something big for 100. I want to say that'd be quite exciting. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
Maybe. We'll have to see what that entails, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe we do a video one.
We should do video ones anyway. It's just because we're just too unorganised to get together to actually make a video.
Well, I mean, I upload like the audio version, an video version on YouTube, but that's about it.
I wonder if anyone watches those. What are the views like?
0 to 2.
Ah, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, no one's interested in it. I just put in there just in case.
I guess the more places they are, the better.
Yeah.
I suppose we should say goodbye.
Yeah, I guess so. It's been about an hour, so.
Yeah, it has. So I guess we will see you all next week.
Ooh, lots more news to talk about.
Yeah, hopefully. Jesus.